And we are live. So welcome back to This Life, the Get a Fenris game set in beautiful Duluth, Minnesota. This up to the Hearth's Fire, where we are again because moon bridges. Yeah, finger guns. So, all things considered, there is yeah, there's bridges that are hopefully at this point mended with some time, and there is the simple fact that there is a point of reference Charlotte has for what she needs to do that well, he sits on the same porch every night. Apparently, the cold does not deter him in the least. So, it seems like all the more motivation to go and check up and see if Leaf is, well, any less furious. So well last time. But yeah, as it is, she's bundled back up in her cold weather gear, and yeah, just kind of pottering towards the house. Swinging
I
by
mean,
to
you
see
see him
what we
there.
got.
You see him there. He is definitely doing his thing.
Doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very well. Yeah, she will approach the porch. Da-na-na. Which is honestly at this point kind of a check the temperament thing as much as anything else. Because presuming he doesn't immediately show signs of aggression, yeah, she's just gonna potter up the steps.
Saying anything?
I mean, honestly, by the time she gets to the lowest step, like right before she steps on, kind of pause, glance up. Evening.
Just looks up.
She slowly picks up a hand and does the finger waggle.
You need something.
I do. If you have the time.
What is that?
Told him that my pack and I have proposition to send us to the court of Wisconsin. Thought that perhaps since you'd been there, you might be able to offer some insight.
I see.
I'd hope so at least. If that is not the case, I will keep walking.
You're wishing to why are you bothering with the court of Wisconsin? For your totem.
Try to bring some peace, or at least some understanding.
Hmm.
Between
Some,
the internal feuding and the external feuding, it is a veritable bee's nest.
it is, that is how they survive.
Also,
Many people thrive in there. It is the same way as we survive in harsh conditions such as these.
not exactly looking to irreparably change the landscape, just try to put them in a better position.
Hmm.
Apparently, the worm taint is still a problem. Kind of flicks a
I,
glance
ima-
up.
I imagine it would be. They seem to have quite the infestation of many different things in there. Makes sense when they're all trying to good at each other that a worm would take advantage.
Of course. I just thought perhaps if you'd made headway on that,
I
maybe
made
give me
enough to
somewhere to
stop.
start from.
Made enough to stop an assassination, but that is a dust in the wind.
The lips just kind of pull into that little dissatisfied line of like, can't argue with you, but I don't like the answer. It makes me sad. Well, if all of those connections are gone, kind of reaches up, rubs at the back of her head. She's got a hat on, so she's not going to get the hair, but
They are not gone, but the trail is cold. There's a difference.
the old trail could still lead us somewhere.
Perhaps. And why are you wishing my help? I'm sure members of the court are willing to help you in their own endeavor.
Sure they are, in their own endeavors.
That is how you play the game over there.
Maybe. But I know you, and I trust you. Explicitly, so I thought that if you could give me anything, I could use as a starting point. At least in sussing out this. I'm sure others will have their own bits and pieces to offer, but everything they give me will have to be examined. Will have to be measured for how truthful it is, how useful it is.
Isn't that not your role?
It is. And I could sit there and flex my muscles and do all of that. But there comes a point where I feel it's more important, if you can, to at least have as strong a lead as possible before you begin. These are
Is this your
lives.
attempt to look over, exist peacefully between the two of us?
I'd hoped that would be a separate conversation, but I'll admit it was a convenient thing to get me over here.
Just nods. I see.
Wasn't so sure you wanted the company.
You have come up onto my territory.
Have? Gonna kind of measure
Sure.
that. What's he trying to?
No, it just says it very matter of factly. You would know, Leaf. If he meant it, he meant it, he meant it. You know what I mean? It's that type of vibe. It's just
Yeah.
a very matter of fact statement, you know?
Yes. Declarations of fact. His one true strength.
You get the
Yeah.
impression if he wanted you gone, he would have got rid of you by now.
Figured last time around that my company was polarizing enough.
Yes, I imagine it is.
Kind of quirks a glance at him.
Looks at her quite blankly.
What's that meant to mean?
Nothing.
Are you still angry with me?
Angry with you over what?
I don't know. You were certainly angry last time.
I know who you belong to. Initially there was rage, and now it is acceptance.
Who I belong to.
Nods very calmly.
I don't belong to anyone.
The mark on your leg says otherwise.
Look on my leg says I was openly accepted and offered the same thing that they have offered each other.
I know a mark and a brand of loyalty when I see it.
Does loyalty to one person or group mean that I'm disloyal to any other?
No, but it means that you have... You would not understand.
Is that I have friends that I got very drunk with and got a tattoo when it was offered?
It is different for us.
Explain it to me.
No. You are not of my people.
If you're going to hold it against me, I can't know why.
You would not understand.
I would try.
Most of us do have markings and tattoos. But that is the brand of loyalty. That is the brand of showing who you stand with when it comes down to it. I may not know all the details, but I know enough. From a Fenrir perspective, you have marked yourself.
It is a very different perspective. I'm not going to try to argue it. There's that kind of unspoken like, it's as much as I'd like to, and try to just drive a point for no reason endlessly. Just kind of shakes her head. But I don't belong to anyone.
Shrugs.
I'll admit, I still don't understand why that would make you angry. We're all one set.
Shakes his head.
She kind of like looks over. Not waspishly per se, though. There's just a touch of sass in the eyes. Laughing doesn't explain much. Just makes me feel like an idiot.
You've grown up around us. I figured you would understand.
I've seen a lot of tattoos, but like you said, not one of you. So why would anyone ever explain it to me?
Balls his fists, unclenches them. You've been around us long enough to understand what this means. To understand what had happened. To understand what was done. and to understand where you stand with that.
I understand that in a drawing of the lines it could bring loyalty into question, but why would we be drawing lines between each other?
And look over, because they drew them already.
Is there a standoff between your pack and the Gallows?
Not that it is any of your business.
Well, apparently I'm in the middle of it.
So it would seem.
Can I be in the middle of something and taking sides if I don't know what's happening?
You were on the council.
Was?
You saw what was given and what was taken.
I saw.
And then you have your answer.
So you're angry with me over what you assume that I and the people that I'm marked by chose.
You are marked by them. The last time you were here, you said some very damning things to my Alpha before she was beaten down like a dog.
I was angry. I wasn't
Yes,
fair.
and people do very foolish things in anger.
I did not mean for anything like that to happen to Lily.
But it happened.
It did.
And yet, again, my other packmate was insulted by one of yours.
I took immediate steps to correct that.
Hmm.
Sadly, I'm not yet in her head, and I couldn't hardly see the
The
thought
next
before it leaves
time
my mouth.
my pack is insulted, they will answer to me as Alpha of this pack.
Understood?
The next time anyone browbeats my pack again, I do not care who it is.
I expect you would.
Hmm. As far as I'm concerned, the lines are drawn.
And you've decided I'm standing on the other side.
You have put yourself there. You have done that yourself, not me.
I told you. I'm not standing in opposition to you. I won't.
But you will, in the end.
No, I won't.
You tell yourself that. Same as you told yourself that you would not become a figure like Carves the Path.
Not like Carves.
You're not. But you are a similar style of figure to him.
In what way?
Carves blends into the world around him, and you do it similar. Not for the same goals, but you operate the same way as each other.
Glasswalkers spend their lives blending in. It's hardly a fair comparison. Don't make friends with the intention of abusing it.
Like I said, different goals, similar style.
Do you really think of me as like him?
I didn't know what to think when I saw that first. And then all the events happened. I know who you stood with.
Do you?
You are marrying into that very family.
Not
I know.
accusation if none of them were there.
I know who followed you around and corralled you like a dog, and yet
Dog.
would try and tell me how I was to you.
I'm trying to figure out what he's referring to.
Alice.
Tried. Blinded by her own bias.
And yet you stood with her.
Don't expect everyone to be friends. I told her that you were close to me, and that wasn't going to change, and she would have to learn to like it.
Hmm.
And she accepted that and continued to walk with me.
Hmm. He doesn't say anything, he just stares out.
She even came with me, I believe, to aid your family.
She came with you out of necessity. Do not presume to know. Look over, and do not presume that she did not look at me like all the other Trimmonson people aside from Lily has looked at me. If she was so noble. Necessity would shake your hand and then spit in my face behind your back. And I tolerated it. Out of respect for you. Because you are my friend. And eventually I thought that you would see. I trusted your belief in that. Forgive me if I do not weep for someone who did nothing but spit in my face and insult my name.
She only just kind of pops a lean. She hasn't come up onto the steps because she hasn't been invited to. She just kind of leans against the rail there to the steps. Don't argue useless details on that either. Right to be angry.
But yet, people would judge me for it, so just shrugs.
Who's judging you for being angry? Spat on.
It is no longer a concern of yours.
Suppose that's your choice.
It is.
Yeah, she just kind of tucks her head in. You know, like the, hey, neck, cold neck, totally. Just tucks her chin down a bit. You still friends, Leaf, or have you chosen that too?
Hmm?
Are you still friends?
If we were not friends, you would not be here.
Thank you.
Do not thank me.
Why?
There is no need to thank me. I have not done anything worthy of thanks.
Found it worthy?
That is your perspective. I merely did my duty. And now, I will do it again. Even though, because of what has happened, I have been forced to take command.
Sorry.
Shrugs. Did you beat my alpha down?
No.
Then my quarrel is not with you. Unless you stand with him.
Understood. You don't believe me, do you? Glances up, looks over at him.
I will wait to see what happens when the time comes. People will promise each other many things, but when the time comes, lines are drawn in the sand. I will wait till then. Do not think Lily is weak, for she gave up the position of Alpha. If that is spread around, I will correct it.
No. I think it's a word that gets tossed around far more than it should be. It's just how people verbally point a finger. She's weak. I think she's hurting, but I don't think she's weak.
Just nods, looks out.
She kind of glances up and over. Just to see if he's looking at anything in particular or if he's just kind of doing his leaf thing and looking.
Just staring.
Sorry that decisions I made compromised your trust.
I'm sure you have an opinion on it that you're not wishing to convey to me.
Give you any opinion you want to hear. I've been the
That
type
I
to keep it
want
to
to,
myself.
that I want to hear.
Meaning, if you ask, I will tell you. But I don't want to pick fights or sit here and look like I'm trying to nitpick or defend myself when it's a lost point.
You
I don't want to
consider it a
argue with
lost.
you.
You consider it a lost point.
Didn't do these things meaning to compromise anyone's trust. Got the tattoo to earn trust. Not to lose it. It wasn't some sincere right or serious choice. We're all drinking. I know they all have the same tattoo. They asked if I wanted it. They offered to put it on me. Jenny gave it to me.
He just takes a breath.
Thought, why not? I thought that they knew then that I would take them seriously. Not think of them as just Shadow Lords. As someone who saw them as people. I wanted them to see that I do want to be around them just as much as I want to be around anyone, around you, around all the friends I've made. Meant a lot to them. Meant a lot to me that they offered. gonna say your perspective on it's invalid or wrong. You see things the way you see them. You see things the way you've been brought up to see them. Not mad at that. This wasn't me picking someone to be loyal to above all others. This was me just showing that I could see them and wanted to give them support. Wanted to be considered a friend and be considered close. As there's a pause, she'll finally steal a glance up. She said most of this looking ahead. Not looking down, but just kind of looking ahead. Finally flicks over to see like what kind of expression she's managed to earn.
I'm looking at her. Just looking at.
Has his expression changed at all since the last time she looked up and he was looking out?
Buried, stone-faced, staring, full of thought. Very definitely full of thought.
Honestly, she just kind of lets him have it and think it out and roll it around and process it, because if she keeps babbling, she'll just muddy it up, make it harder to determine, and she actually gives a shit about his opinion. So she waits, watching him.
As I said, if you do not stand with him, then you do not stand with him. I will judge you on your deeds. For we all talk. Every last one of us. So I'll wait to see. That way, there is no denying it. Or refusing it. Whatever the reality is.
I suppose until you know one way or the other, things can't be the way they were.
Things, no. We'll look over, back to the way they were.
Just spending time with you. You're the thing that she kind of gestures vaguely out towards the sept. The thing that kept me steady. You're a good friend to me. And I miss that.
Alright, Leaf. Let's see. Are you still in your rational thought? Looks at her. That is for you to assume that I am not being.
You blamed me for the assumption when you didn't even want me near you the last time I was here.
I was making a point. There was no blame. If there was blame on you as he turns, I would not have spoken. I would have acted. and put you in your place. If there was blame on you, I was merely making the point to you of what will happen if you stand against me. It was a far different matter. Because I know who watches over you now. You may not belong to him. Those eyes and the crows will always be there.
She actually, like, in response to that, kind of flicks a paranoid glance out to the trees. I mean, the chances of her spotting anything are pretty much nil, but
Yes.
I mean, he gets a reaction, and that it's not something she looks at for comfort. It's she just kind of looks out like, eh.
So, that is the point I am making. If I put blame on you, you would feel it.
Kind of nods. Is he still like stood or like he did something? He either stood or like took a step towards her or something.
He turned his body.
Yeah. Yep. She takes a second and just digests it because Leaf is many things, but he is not full of shit. I apologize for the assumption or misunderstanding.
It is something I am more than used to than you think.
Feels that much worse for portraying the same thing.
Oh,
Kind of shrugs, and it's kind of that weak fuck me smile, really. There's not a lot of humor in it. I hope I'd know better. I'm not used to you being angry with me. And I'll admit, than anything, I was afraid of what it meant.
you should be.
I already don't want to anger you, and it's not because I'm afraid.
Then what?
I don't generally like angering people that I care about. I don't need fear to push that forward. I already felt terrible. I wasn't afraid that you would hurt me. I was afraid that you'd never speak to me again.
I am not Alice Redmond. I do not lash out at you and pretend to be your friend again. If I am angry at you, you will feel it. I will still value with you, but I will respect you enough to let you know that you have irked me. But I will not spurn you, then string you along like a dog on a leash.
It's just a quiet nod. That stung.
I mean, she can react if she wants, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's not that what he said was wrong. It's that it kind of hurt because he's not the first person to point out to her that Alice wasn't kind to her. And he wouldn't be the first person if he did to point out that she has generally shit taste in, well, whether you call them friends or projects. She's got shit taste in them. So, no, it just stings because it's true. So she kind of just stands herself up and, you know, pushes herself up into a stand and finally comes up the steps. If he doesn't want her there, like he said, he'll make it very clear.
What you doing?
She's just gonna go and try to sit in her usual fucking spot. Because let's face it, Eve's about the truest friend she's had so far, and she's seeing it. So she pulls herself up and finally comes up the steps and just walks over and sits on the swing.
He doesn't get on with you. You can tell he's not telling you to fuck off, essentially. It's just he just sits there staring out. Doesn't tell you to leave or anything. Just seems, very deep in thought.
I haven't been as good a friend to you as you deserve.
It is too late for that talk. Look over. It is too late. It is too late to bring that talk to me.
Shakes her head. I don't expect it to fix anything. Just needed to say it.
Just shrug again, Charlotte. I'm an Lorixon. The people you're marrying in, I am scum.
Kind of flicks a glance over at him. Because she's not going to bring up the point. She knows.
What point she not gonna bring up bare butt?
She's not going to bring up Freya because that is tactless and will just make him angry.
I mean, if she can, if she wants. It's up to her, buddy. It's up to you. Would you rather feel angry? What is up to you, but.
Must be the ones outside of the sept then. Just kind of sits back in the seat.
And what does that mean?
I can't think of a single Trimbusan on the sept that could give you any worse than a fair shake. She kind of looks over at the pho. Am I wrong?
You saw how they were in Wolvesmore.
Small is a very different place.
They were here when they did that.
No. What's wrong?
Mm. I am used to the Trimbinsons and their ways.
Suppose you think it's trite. See it.
What is?
She just kind of shrugs. I realize the implications are there whether I want them or not. I'm not marrying Maria. I'm not marrying them. I'm marrying someone who came here and kind of points over, sat by that tree while I was bawling like a baby. So that when I came out, I'd have someone to give me sympathy and someone to understand me. I didn't choose him based on his last name. And he certainly didn't choose me for mine. Oh boy.
Does it speak?
Honestly, she's kind of relieved that he doesn't, because what could have come out probably wouldn't have been especially kind.
Just calmly just gets up and you see him, he just gets up and just very calmly goes inside. Doesn't tell you to fuck off or anything, he just stands up very calmly and just goes inside.
Yep, she just lets him do it, doesn't get in his way. Because this is one of the only things they've fought over with any consistency, really. So she's not going to perpetrate it further. She just lets him walk past. And as he's going for the door, she just stands up. In fact, as
Does
it's
she say
about time it's clear that he's going for the door. You don't have to go inside. I'll go.
yes.
Are you going inside to avoid me?
He just pauses and just closes. You actually see him part if you have a decent sight, you just close his eyes and takes a breath. Forgive me if I do not indulge your romantic, perfect indulgence.
I'm going to roll to see if I can bite my tongue, because that is rich. The fuck is my willpower? Oh, I spent some.
Go on. Do it, Katie.
I am rolling.
Go.
I mean, that's an 8. 8s are good.
Mm-hmm. Go on, say it. Go on. Do it. Not even mad, do it.
Yeah, he says all that. I mean, you know what? She won't necessarily immediately blurt it out, but I mean, it's the visible biting her fucking tongue. Like, she only barely keeps that thought in her head. Just shakes her head, ducks her chin, like, nope, nope.
You have something to say?
She pauses like 1 foot forward. It's just very ironic.
How is that?
Pulls the foot back and picks herself up properly. Because there's no shy violating that shit.
How is that then, Charlotte?
I like to think you care for Freya for who she is.
Freya and I are not an option anymore.
Why?
That is my business.
Not an option?
It was a distraction, nothing more.
Just a distraction.
Yes. I mean, he has his back towards you. You can fucking see what his facial expression is. Anything, you know what I mean?
A fucking distraction, Leaf. Really? She's actually turning to face him at this point.
Doesn't respond.
I don't need to use a gift to know that's a lie.
And you may consider it what you wish.
So you're going to hurt her to make a point?
I'm not hurting her to make a point.
Then why?
That is my business. You are not in my pack. You are not in my head.
No. I'm not.
And it is my business what I do. And Freya, for all that she is, her and I cannot.
Ooh. Gonna roll some more.
Go and do it.
There's 9s. There are 9s. Look at them.
I mean,
Ugh.
how angry are you getting? But
And
there is that question. Gotta ask it. I gotta ask it. You know what I mean?
I don't know if she's quite take a rage angry yet because she doesn't have enough information, but she's mad. Her teeth are grinding, but she's
I mean, like I said, it's up to you if you want to. If you want to call him out on it, and you feel sure it's perfectly justified, by all means. I ain't gonna stop you.
I know you won't. You will let me dig this hole as deep as I want.
It's not even about digging the hole if it's nothing about that.
Is
If
Lily still in your pack?
she is,
And is she still a Trimbusan?
yes,
Then why?
that is my business.
She's finally gonna approach. Not to touch him. She's not gonna come up like straight at his back. She's not crazy. She wants to see his face.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you see, he's still stone faced as ever, really. Just guarded, definitely guarded. You seem to think that I was insulting Freya by saying that.
I think that you were the first thing in a long time that made her properly happy. You know what? She seemed to make you happy too.
That is not what is required of me.
Is this your choice or someone else's?
This is my own. As an Ulrichson, as a get of fucking Fenris. There is no other choice I have left. Blood, honor, and sacrifice. That is what we are bred for. It is what Great Father Wolf teaches us every day. It is what my grandfather has taught me, to my father, to his fathers before him.
How is it that you can share your mind and your life with one and not share your heart with one?
Because that is the sacrifice that is demanded of us. And something a child of cockroach would never understand. And that is not to insult you. That is just fact. And while Freya is who she is, not because she's a Tribbenson, not for that reason, but I have my role. I must carry it. And she cannot be a part of that. That is a sacrifice I must make.
She finally shakes her head and looks offside. She's been studying him hard, looking for any crack in that fucking expression.
I mean, you see the weight on his shoulders. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. Yet the impression Leaf is stepping into the political arena, and I'll give this for free. He's taking it very seriously. Not out of ambition, it's more out of duty, if you notice, if anything else.
I just thought. Kind of shakes her head again. Thought you wanted to be yourself.
I chose this path.
See that?
But the road was dictated by action of others. And someone had to pick up the mantle once it was beaten down again. People have mocked me for my hiding away. And now they have what they wanted. They will have a Ged of Fenris. They will have an Ulrichsen judging them.
Is it worth it? Just to give them what they wanted so they can regret wanting it?
It is not about that. Father Wolf does not ask that of me. This is not some spiteful vendetta. This is what I was born to do.
You say that. All I can think of is when we were sitting out here, telling me about Runefur, telling me how you didn't want to be part of that.
Well, he finally leave Worlds. You know what I mean? It's the first bit of emotion he's shown. Perhaps I did not expect my alpha, my friends, to turn on each other as they have done, to beat each other down into the ground. And maybe I decided that enough is enough. Maybe I'm making a stand.
And I'm not gonna lie, she doesn't. She is not flawless when he whirls around on her because. Ugh. But she doesn't like back down hardcore. Oh, there's just kind of that like, ooh, duh, oh, cool. I'm not getting hit, but there's that still one like butt tightening moment.
This is appropriate. It is very easy for all of you to flail around. But I am doing what is best for my pack, my people. I am foregoing my own selfish needs and wants for that. So, kindly and respectfully, as my friend, back the fuck off. Or I will act. That is your warning as my friend.
She politely takes a very precise step back to get out of his personal space. Ask one more thing.
What?
What you told her?
I have.
Gives a very light nod.
Turns and I'm in the door like, you know what I mean? Like it shakes.
Yeah, she takes a couple steps off the porch. Just because she has been told to back the fuck off, and she can at least go that far before she pulls the phone out of her pocket to see if there's chaos in her messenger.
Not really. Do your usual stupid selfish from Felix. You know what I mean? What you might guess, Charlotte, is I'll give you this for free on the wit. Maybe this just happened before you arrived.
Okay. Am I rolling a thing?
Oh, no, I'll give you this for free on your wits. Felix probably doesn't know.
Yep, she sees nothing in the messages. In fact, doesn't see anything even saying, hey, I'm going to be out. And she starts walking.
Where are you walking there, buddy?
You know what? If Felix doesn't know, Lena might not either. She's going to the cabin.
Cabin.
The one that we held with Juno and Freya. The one that Freya stayed in.
Oh, you mean her father's house?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good place. Yeah, I mean, she actually is there, yeah. That was very clever, Katie.
Oh, I am a smart cookie. Yeah, I'm going there.
You'll see her. You probably see the platinum blonde hair in the window, actually. She's sitting down by the couch, staring.
She just comes over and, gives a light knock at the door. A little rap of a knuckle because it is Freya's place now.
She
Charlotte.
doesn't really answer. The head kind of turns slightly.
Shifting to where I can see her through the window, is this a very similar kind of blankness that I've seen before?
No, not really. It's just more, if anything, the poor girl's probably just numb from shock. You know? Get the impression she probably wasn't expecting this.
If you don't want me to come in, I need you to tell me.
I don't care.
She's in. She just comes in and promptly goes, like, kind of kicking her boots off, or at least the overshoes to tromp through snow and mush and whatnot. And yeah, she is just beelining to the room with Freya.
Yeah, I mean, you see her. The hair's covering the scar. You know, she hasn't been crying. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Of course not. I would never say such a thing. I would never notice it, even if she had, even if she's doing it right now. I would never notice that she was crying because big girls don't cry. Um, yeah, no, she's going to come right in and she is going to take a seat alongside her. I mean, the concern is obvious.
I brought him some flowers. I had even booked us two seats to go to dinner. I hadn't been to dinner and, well,
I'm not gonna lie, she just kind of picks up an arm for her. Kind of offers the shoulder, essentially. Sorry.
I didn't understand.
Didn't do anything wrong.
He seemed in such pain as well.
like you wanted to.
Tried to be his big, stoic self, but I could see it in his eyes. What did I do wrong?
You didn't do anything wrong.
Was it
Because
these?
of you.
To turn and just look and, there it is. You know what I mean?
No. I'm afraid it wasn't that. You didn't do anything wrong.
I suppose.
Well, Freya let her, like, put a hand on her shoulder.
I mean, she doesn't stop you from touching her. She's just numb. You know what I mean?
I mean, I assume she's turning, like, and even pulls back the hair. Like, was it because of these?
Mm-hmm.
Will just very gingerly reach up to where she's got the hair kind of pulled sloppily back and tuck some of it behind her ear. There's nothing wrong with you.
Guess I dreamed too big.
No. You didn't. It's not because he doesn't want you.
It's because I can't have.
You say that.
Like I said, there was more just damage done than just my face.
Did he say that was why?
Shakes her head.
Why would you think it?
Wouldn't you?
No,
If you were
it's
me.
not why. I don't blame you for wondering, but it's not why.
And why?
Couldn't get him to explain it so well. Just feels that he has to. Feels like it's his duty to. Doesn't want to. He wouldn't have gotten as angry as he did if it hadn't hurt. There's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing that you did.
I'm gonna go upstairs to my room now. So I just stands up.
Okay? And I just want you to know, Torna, the second she's broken line of sight, she's texting Felix.
What's he saying?
You know what? The fastest thing she could say that could probably convey that things are wrong is, Leaf and Freya broke up.
Yeah, he just replies he's on his way, like fucking instantly.
Yep, that is about what she expected. She will reply very quickly, listening to the stairs and whatnot as she does. Should I let her be alone?
He replied, "There is just no, no, no. You know it's quite
Yep,
rapid."
that's what she figured. So yeah, she will be up on her feet and following.
Freya's, by the time you come by the bathroom, you reckon she went into the bathroom?
Oh no, 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 that's not her room. No, ma'am.
Oh no, by the time you get there, she hasn't actually, because look at that willpower roll. Look at that, Katie.
Look at what? I'm scared.
Willpower. Look at her willpower roll. I had to roll willpower for something. Look at that willpower roll.
Yeah, I
I
assume
mean,
she specifically hears the bathroom door as opposed to Freya's bedroom.
yes.
Yeah, she trots quickly up the stairs. Freya.
You find her standing in the bathroom.
She just kind of comes around the doorframe and is admittedly relieved that the door is open and she can see her. Is she holding anything that I need to get out of her hands right now?
Yes, she's holding. Do you know one of those shaving razors for your legs? She clicked the blade out of it. She hasn't moved it, raised it to her hand. She was just staring down at it.
At least let me sit with you. Just kind of tries to delicately ease in. Because once she's gotten as far as the door, now she can't move quickly because she doesn't want to spook her.
Well, she doesn't answer. She's just staring down at the blade. It's not like she was actually contemplating it. If anything, she just stares down at it. As you'll see, she wasn't going for a wrist. She was actually going to cut the scar on her face, so it'll bleed again.
All right. What Charlotte is going to try to do is continue just talking. Like, why don't we go and sit? We'll make cocoa, we'll make whatever. Just kind of talking calmly as she just eases over and tries to very delicately reach over. And at first, at least, holds her hand out. Just, I have that, please.
Doesn't answer. Just keeps staring down at it. Just that one eye that you can see, just focus primed on it.
Yeah. You look at me. Start leaning forward. Kind of, again, she's got a hand close.
They said that they have to make it.
They said what?
They said they have. She starts stuttering again. It's supposed. She closes her eyes.
She just very delicately tries to, still leaning, trying to look her in the face. And I mean, at least she's closed her eyes. She's not staring at it, but yeah. I'm going to take the razor out of your hands, okay? Not trying to do anything else. Just want that. All right? This is as she's going to very delicately reach over. And I mean, if she gets her hand cut, so be it. But
No, you don't. You can actually take it.
yeah, she just very gently plucks it out of her fingers. And honestly, she just fucking shoves it in her pocket. it might rag up some of the fabric, but if it's one of the like normal little, you're talking about like the refills for like a
Yes.
normal razor, right? Yeah, she just shoves it so it's facing outwards in her pocket. So if it does scuff through the fabric, it won't hit her leg. Okay, can I take your hand?
They said that I supposed to bleed.
Oh, honey, it's healing. Doesn't need to bleed anymore.
Weakly nod.
She just tries to like not grab her hand, but like almost reaching up under it, like initially just kind of putting her hand underneath, seeing if she can prompt her to take her hand. Because she doesn't want to force, but so much. She doesn't want to set anything off.
Oh, when you touch her, she actually visibly flinches.
Just pulls the hand back. Come on, why don't we go downstairs? I won't touch you if you don't want me to.
Can't go downstairs.
Why not?
Too many mirrors.
Want me to cover them?
Nods rapidly.
Okay. Okay. Why don't we step out of the bathroom first? Just look at me and nod at it.
She takes a step to the side, keeping her eyes closed because you have those the sink mirrors.
Yeah, exactly. She will just snatch one of the towels that's hung up in there and immediately, like using the little light fixture that's always above the fucking mirror, will kind of tuck it around on that just as a quick stopgap
Yes.
that drapes down in front of the mirror. Okay, this one's covered. Open your eyes.
He does.
I don't want to leave you standing alone. You trust me and take my hand. You can close your eyes so you don't have to see. I'll cover all the others. Won't hold your hand tightly. You can hold my wrist.
I don't want him to see me like this. Felix Orleaf.
Okay. What would you like me to do? You sure not even Felix?
I think I'm weak.
I don't think you're weak. You're not weak. You're stronger than some of the Gru I know. Very, very strong.
I'm just gonna go to bed. Can you cover the mirrors, please?
You're not gonna try to make it bleed, right?
Can you cover the mirrors, please?
Well, are there some in your room?
Nods, closing her eyes.
Okay.
It's clear that she's hearing something. Like whatever she's hearing, it's just like she's just closing her eyes, just scrunching up her face.
Okay, so it's visible that she's hearing something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Here's my wrist. And I mean, she just kind of bumps against her fingertips very lightly, just enough for her to find it. She won't try to take her hand. She'll just let her grab the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll walk with her, leading her along carefully, and we'll open the door into her room.
There's not that many mirrors. There's just one that you obviously use for your outfits, essentially. You know, the big long ones.
Yep. Is it one of those ones on a stand where you can just kind of flip it over?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, she'll carefully tug it out, flip it over to face the wall, and then I mean she knows where things are in this fucking cabin. We'll go on a little side trip to get a sheet, pitch that over it. Want me to take it out of your room?
Nods.
Okay. And she will, carefully tug the mirror along, and we'll, walking with her, just take it to the furthest bedroom, the far, far side of the cabin, and nudge it in there. Close the door firmly.
Yeah, I actually watched Freya walk and then into her room. She just gets in the bed and just pulls the covers over her head and just lies there. The only thing you see is the little tuft of, long platinum hair.
As long as she's willing to leave the door open, Charlotte will calm her titties for the moment. She will glance around for other little compact mirrors, basically because if she's hearing something, if there's a weird associated thing going on, she wants to get all of them out of the room.
Yeah, you see makeup, the fucking makeup mirrors and
Yep.
shit as well. Yeah, all
She
that.
will even clip open the compacts to see if they have makeup on both sides or a mirror on one, and everything with a mirror on it. She will carefully pluck up, take with her, walk to that far room again, and this is now the mirror corner.
Mm-hmm. No,
Just
Freya
set
just
them on the floor.
stays up under the covers.
And Charlotte will, while she's in the hallway walking back, flick open the phone.
Okay.
Um, and to Felix, I'm taking the mirrors out of her room. She says that she's worried you'll think she's weak and doesn't want anyone to see her like this. Don't know. You know better than I do.
He doesn't reply. You get the impression he's probably on the fucking motorbike zooming down here.
Yeah.
That's genuinely like that is the only reason he doesn't answer.
Well, exactly. I mean, even if he sees it, he can't exactly type out a fucking answer while he's driving the bike.
Yeah.
And she will repeat the process around the house, one mirror at a time, because that means more walking back and forth by Freya's room and checking to see that she's still in her bed and still huddled exactly where she was. And yeah, we'll begin removing like the mirrors hung up on the wall. She'll cover the one in the other bathroom, but she will begin removing reflective surfaces, and honestly, out of paranoia, we'll even flick a sheet over the TV because they can be reflective when they're not on.
And the door to the house opens. You can hear it. That's Felix. Just by the way he came in. Poor fucker probably just legged it straight from on with the second he leapt off the bike.
Yeah. And yeah, she will kind of poke her head out of whatever room she's in, probably with yet another, nice fancy little mirror for on the wall. Or like the one by the door, so she's like, ugh, when it opens. Because everyone's got to be able to check their hair when they walk out. So yeah, she's like pulled it down and just taken enough of a step back that she doesn't quite get clocked by it.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Shit. Did you get my message?
No.
She's in her room, but she said she was afraid that you or leave seeing her that way, you'd think she was weak.
Where is he?
Step at a time.
He didn't hurt her, did he?
No. No, and I don't think he especially wanted to do it. Cares about her.
Yeah.
Gave him about as much shit as I could give him without getting knocked out of her ass off of his porch. But he's hurting too. Just going over there and starting a fight won't fix anything.
Twitches a bit.
She will just reach over and close the door behind him.
Well, you can see he's almost in pain, if you get me.
What's wrong?
Nothing. He starts, pacing around.
What can I do to help?
What did she say exactly?
She asked me to cover all the mirrors. I'm taking down all the ones I can. Looked like she was hearing something. I found her in the bathroom with a knife. She pulls out the little razor from her pocket so you can see it and then shoves it right back in. She hadn't done anything.
Face.
Told her she was healing and it didn't have to bleed.
And I mentioned this before. Well, she mentioned that there was some similar in the initial stages. So,
What do we need to watch out for?
yeah.
Got a quirks a brow?
Yeah, and he looks, like I said, he looks almost in pain.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Just get it, bitches, and that look like I'm a professional lie detector.
I mean, he doesn't seem to think there's anything wrong.
What kind of expression is he making? Is it like a particular part of him that seems to be in pain? Is it just like that headache kind of scrunch you do? Like what is the
It just looks like someone's literally just shanked him. You know what I mean? Right in the gut. It's the way he's moving. He's holding himself. But then again, like you can see it. Like he takes off his jacket. He looks fine. You know what I mean?
I mean, she kind of looks and squints for a moment and then just fucking turns and heads up the fucking stairs again. Because twins are weird. And she's worried now.
He just sits at the end of the stairs, lighting a cigarette, just scratching at himself.
Yeah, she is going to take the stairs two at a time. As light footed as she can, she's still going to make noise. She's just trying not to make it more of a stomp than it absolutely has to be. And we'll set the mirror aside as she flicks a look back into Freya's room.
She's lying in the bed, very numb. Totally, yeah, no, she's not been crying. You're crying.
She just walk in and kind of do that ease down to sit, making sure that it's not somewhere where she'll bump Freya at all. Just kind of to perch like that one hip on the edge of the bed. This is here.
Okay.
And from her new... Sorry.
You didn't see it.
He didn't...
She just nods She just nods weakly under. You can see she's just wrapped up.
I could not hear what you said.
She just nods weakly as you can clearly see she's just wrapped up.
She said something like he didn't... Was it see her or save her?
See.
Didn't he say?
Me.
Is there something new he shouldn't see?
No, Charlotte. She pulls the covers over her head. They made him see me.
Odds? Okay. They do something to his stomach.
What? What? She kind of
He's
looks over.
He was just doing something strange. I didn't know if it was the memory.
I don't know. I didn't do anything. It's kind of that probably melts Charlotte's heart how fucking frail she looks when she says that.
Just I didn't do anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna roll because that was also like the guilty child thing. One doesn't generally say that unless they've done something. And I want to make sure she didn't cut her own fucking stomach open. The reason for sitting on the end of her bed, is there any blood staining on the blanket? God damn my roll.
Spend a willpower.
Yes.
Yeah. Not heavy now. She hasn't like it's not a gut wound. You know what I mean?
No, but she's probably at least mildly cut herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please let me see.
She lifts the blanket. It's three tiny little incisions. That, I mean, they're not. It's not deep. But it is yeah, right in the belly.
She just, I mean, she just looks sad. She doesn't look angry. You don't need to. There's nothing wrong with you. And you don't need to bleed.
I could hear her. Psst, psst. It just
What kind of cuts are they like? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck she made them with.
her nails.
Oh, she can't tell you what to do.
No, it's just there was pain and then they stopped. You know.
Yeah. Does anything else help? Does anything else make it stop?
No. That's how I made it stop. What? I mean, she just looks down.
Okay.
Like her voice actually just fades off into a whisper.
Okay. I assume this is like incredibly superficial.
Yes.
Like it's very like surface of the skin shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like I said,
Whew.
she didn't like it's not a gut wound.
Yeah. It's not serious. It's literally she just scratched herself hard enough she bled a little.
Yes.
Felix come up and talk to you if he doesn't look.
She shakes her head rapidly.
Okay.
I don't want him to see. I'll only hurt him.
Okay.
He'll get angry and he'll won't yell at you or me. He'll get angry.
will happen if he's angry.
Do something stupid.
It's a faint smile. She kind of pitches an ear downstairs. And
I mean,
like that glance out the bedroom door. I assume she hasn't heard one of the doors opening and closing.
no. You probably hear like the telltale clicking of like matches off the fucking thing. You know, someone's lighting a cigarette or something.
Well, at least so far. He's just smoking. He's worried.
I don't want him to see because he'll get angry, and he has been angry for a while. So
He already knows that you're sad.
yeah, well, I don't want to because I've already lost Leaf. She just started. Yeah, she just collapses. Like she says, Leaf and Rat. When she gets to Riot, she just comes apart at the seams.
Okay. And I mean, she's torn because she wants to comfort her, but she does not seem to want to be touched. She sits there, and honestly, at least for a minute, will just kind of have a hand on the bed. But after a couple moments, I mean, she's fucking sad. And just sitting there staring at her while she cries isn't going to help her. Be right back. I'll get you some water.
Yeah, she doesn't respond. She just lies there, curled up with the blankets around her.
She just lets her, and
And what's probably breaks Charlotte's heart, that's one of Leith's poetry books in her arms that she takes off the dresser.
oh god, yep, she will let her curl up and have her cry because it's probably better for her to just be able to cry about it for a minute. Huntley picks up and heads down the stairs.
There be Felix.
Yeah. Sad, but she seems pretty stable right now.
Alright. I'll sleep on the couch.
Did you?
Huh?
You okay?
I'm fine. She kind of just goes and sits down, rubbing at his face.
Yeah, she will. A glass of water, like she promised. Get up and set it by the bed. Just kind of unobtrusively, because she doesn't want Ray to feel like she has to hide. So she just leans in to put it there, leaves the door open. We'll probably make a last glance around for things like, your nail cutting scissors, all those little makeupy things that are incredibly sharp, and we'll just tactically remove those from the room.
Yes.
This is not going to stop her if she has something hidden somewhere, but fuck it, I tried.
Yes.
And we'll bring those downstairs with her and stick them in the top of one of the cabinets where they're not visible.
Uh-huh.
And then take a minute to just kind of rub her face and try to figure out what the fuck to even do next.
Yeah, you just see Felix just lying down on the couch, just, staring off. Kind of an eerie, similar position to Freya, though not nowhere near as sad. He hasn't curled up, he's just flopped. You know what I mean?
She'll at least come over and try to sit with him with a letter.
I mean, it doesn't say no. Man, new leaf at the fucking work's gonna break her fucking heart.
Talk like that. I don't think it's something you wanted to do.
Yeah, well, look at the damage she's done. Just
Say it.
hope it was fucking worth it.
Charlotte does not comment that she was damn tempted to send him a message saying exactly that. Doubt it.
I'm gonna just lie here, okay?
Okay.
Just pats her like her wrist, like her palm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She'll, like, just kind of grasp the hand for a second, just as a reassurance.
Yes. Would you like to enter their butt?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.